Good morning, I'm John at Wolverine Supplies, and this morning we're going to talk about the Armalite AR10. And as you can see, we've got a few examples here. This is one of the original AR10s. I think it was very underrated in its day. It's a beautiful rifle. The manufacturer had basically two contracts. One went to the Portuguese and one went to the Sudan. It served well. It shoots the full power 7.62 NATO, 20 round detachable magazine. These early examples, believe it or not, were select fire, so they could be used fully automatic. It brought out the direct gas impingement on the bolt. It brought out the upper and lower receiver. This set the standard for that whole family of guns in decades to come. Unique thing about this, as she sits in my hands right now, she's just under 8 pounds. It makes it a very lovely rifle, and as I say, I think it was very underrated. At the same time, the new 5.56 cartridge, the 223, was introduced. That became more popular, and this was allowed to slip into obscurity. Moving on, Mark Westrom in the US acquired the rights to the Armalite name and redesigned the rifle. Biggest difference, the most noticeable difference, is there was a smaller main bolt diameter, but basically the concept carried on as per the original. Due to the magazine bans that were in place in the US at that time, the manufacture of new magazines was not possible, so they took the original US M14 magazine, modified to feed into the AR10, and you'll notice that she's at an angle, whereas most AR10 M15 type rifles will have the magazine coming in straight. This was to improve the feeding. It was never accepted totally 100%. I've seen magazines that were problematic, but the vast majority worked very well. I visited Armalite once. They had high-speed photography in place while these rifles were used, and it showed that the magazines actually worked extremely well. This is a carbine with a 3-float handguard. This is one that I've shot extensively in the past. It was always a great favourite of mine. Okay, the next model we have here is the SAS semi-automatic rifle. This features an adjustable gas regulator. We have standard and we have suppressed. This was to allow police and military operators to use this rifle in a suppressed or unsuppressed mode and adjust the gas regulator to compensate for the extra back pressure that the suppressor created. This one's fitted with a Magpul stock. Most accessories for the M15 family will go onto these rifles. This is an early 3-float handguard with a lock nut at the rear, but we've got the Pitikini rails, 4 Pitikini rails on it. The latest development to come from Armalite is they've changed the magazine so that now we can use the very popular P magazine and all the derivatives from there. This means that the lower and upper are unique to this family of rifles. They've called it the AR10A series, and so the uppers will not interchange with the uppers from the earlier B series. This example is a lightweight carbine with 3-float handguard. Very nice package. Next to it, we've got the standard handguards. Lowers the cost down. Very acceptable for most general shooting. This is another example. This would be the A2 top end. This has got the integral fixed front sight. Not as popular these days as it once was, but we still have a lot of customers ordering this model. Finally, the flagship of the line, the AR10T. This is their target version. This one, as you can see, has got a stainless steel barrel. Often they're not fitted with flash hider or muzzle brake. These are quite capable of turning in minute of angle, sub-minute of angle on a good day. We set these up for many different special operations, and I've certainly found them to shoot extremely well. We've got a good deal on these rifles that we have in inventory right now, and also included 3 magazines, and these are the 10-round magazines made for the Robinson Armament XCR pistol. So this allows you to use a 10-round magazine quite legally in your AR-10.